Mic check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Testes, testes. Never a believer. What is up? GP. Welcome in, GP. Good to see you. Never a believer. What's going on, guys? What is up? Happy Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. Today's going to be pretty much an open discussion, so we can talk about any of the true crime cases that you're following or any of the news that you might have. And then I'll kind of get into what you can expect from the Sleuth Intuition channel over the next couple of days. But we'll give everybody an opportunity to show up. Patty, what's up? Rain, rain, go away and come over to Phoenix. We had about 4 days of pure rain and it was lovely. Well, for us, it was lovely. For the rest of the city, they got hit pretty hard, actually. So, CJK. Today is my oldest grandson's birthday. Are you going to give him some candy?
Happy birthday! Woo!
So, yeah, we'll get started here in just a few. We'll give everybody an opportunity to show up. Julia, please do. Please do. And Julia, I think we're going to possibly tackle your project idea. I think we might hit the Chandler Municipal Court. Still doing a little research and some ideas, but yeah, I think we're going to do that. Might do it Wednesday. Let me see. What days did I have on here? Yeah, we're going to get into that in today's live stream as well. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays apparently are high volume days for the Chandler Municipal Court. And you guys might be familiar with the Chandler Municipal Court because that's where Vallow had her. Daybell Vallow went to trial. Actually, she's still going through some of her living out some of her court dates now, actually. But yeah, we'll probably be hanging out there on the public sidewalk, you know, asking people what brings them there, you know, what brings you here today? Nervous, hopeful, frustrated? What's your experience been like today? Do you want to share your experience? So we might try that on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. And today, we're going to go do some filming and snooping and sleuthing for the Emily Pike case. We're going to drive into Mesa, Arizona. We're going to go to the gas station where she was last seen. We're going to go and take a look at the path that she took when she ran away. And originally, you guys saw the body cam footage when they found her. She was actually found in those, like in a canal area. And that's not a safe area. We've even had a canal serial killer out in Phoenix, so it's just not a safe place for a 13-year-old girl. We're going to go do some snooping over there, where she went missing, Mesa Drive, McKellips. So we're going to do some filming over there. We're going to be asking questions, talking to people. And then tomorrow, we're going to be driving out to where they actually found the majority of her body. And also, we're going to go visit the San Carlos Indian Reservation. Stop by their local police station, maybe just going to drive around, ask some questions. So, those of you who have been following that case, yeah, we'll have a whole lot to offer for you guys on that later today and then sometime tomorrow. You know, good opportunity to get the wife and the baby out of the house. So, CJ, working, planning Christmas decor. Crazy stuff, though, on these YouTube streets. Charlie Kirk's murder is one of them. Yeah, that turned into a whole JFK situation. But I don't know. Honestly, I haven't seen anything that's been too earth-shattering relating to Charlie's case. Yes, I'm here for it. Next time I'm in AZ, can I celebrity guest as your assistant for courthouse confessionals? Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. So, I mean, I'm spending all this money on this portable Wi-Fi. My channel needs content. You know, my wife's all for it, so, and I'm down. I really want to go in there and mix it up. That's the best way for me to make contacts as well. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? All right. So, technically, we haven't begun the live stream. That was just some small talk. Let's play some tunes. And then after the song, we'll kind of dive into some of the things that I've been going over. And I'll share that with you. And then you guys can do the same with me. So here's a good righty. Three Doors Down. Kryptonite. A little bit of a throwback. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering, what the hell is Never a Believer talking about? Journalist Kathy Fry claimed that an episode of Crime Junkie on the case of Casey Woody, March 2019, used large parts of her 2003 four-part newspaper series without proper... Hold on. Getting a text message. Okay. Other podcasters and writers allege that Crime Junkie used material from their shows or articles without credit. For instance, one podcast host from Trace Evidence claimed 31 overlapping cases. Other accusations include copying content from Reddit posts and TV shows. Multiple episodes were removed from the show's feed after allegations surfaced. Not good, not good. If you were doing song requests, can we throw in some Modest Mouse? Oh my gosh. You just brought me to a place that I never thought I would be. Oh man. High school. You brought me back to high school power drinking parties. $5 a cup, bro. Yeah, that's a good one. Wasn't really doing requests. That was more of an intro song, but this is not monetized. Yeah, Float On is a good one. This one, I will have to share my screen so you can hear it. Mute, mute, mute. Yeah, what a great tune. What's up, Peggy? All right, let's go through some of the things I was looking at here today. Let's see. Where did I start my journey? So we got the Gilgo Beach murders. Like, when the hell is that going to trial? Robert Robertson. You guys know who that is? Robertson is a Texas death row inmate convicted of killing his daughter in 2002. His execution, scheduled for October 16th, 2025, was emergency stayed by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals on October 9th, 2025. Somebody was actually just put to death here in Arizona last week. So I'm seeing an uptick. You know, they weren't really using capital punishment. Everybody was getting stays of execution and things like that. Indiana, too, right? They had a huge delay, and all of a sudden they just started killing everybody. Let me take this off the screen here. All right. And if there's anything you want to take a look at, let me know. I have to let me bore you. But these are some of the articles that I bookmarked and planned on looking at some point today. So I'll do it with you. And honestly, People is my go to, guys. I'm sure as an establishment, they're not non-biased, but their writing and their journalism is spot on. You know, it has everything that you need. Teacher gets 187 years behind bars for sexually abusing teen students, living with one after she turned 18. Now that's grooming 101 right there. Imagine the cases that they don't find. Right? Young girl goes missing. You don't know why. I don't know why. She wasn't in any relationships that I know of. And if she was, I would see it on her phone. This is what parents need to understand about grooming. These guys are 10 steps ahead of you, 10 steps ahead of law enforcement as far as technologically. They are more advanced than they are today's hackers. That's what people are motivated to hack for, to do the shit that, commit the crime and not get caught. Some people find it easier to do that digitally, right? Hey, I'll get busted out on the street. I'm clumsy. Some clumsy incel. But on the internet, they're sharp. They can be whatever they want to be. They know all the tools. They know how to create links, how to use Dropbox, how to use things similar to Dropbox that we don't even know. Everything's encrypted. They know how to work with cryptocurrency. They know how to traverse the dark web. So when they finally get their hands on their target and begin to groom them, they teach they're they teach the victim how to help them, how to avoid detection by their parents, right? They tell them, don't use your cell phone. I will give you a phone, or I will write you a letter, or I will communicate in a different way. Here, go to this chat room where I've set up for you. And in that chat room, when you communicate with me, I will appear to be a 13-year-old girl. The only reason I'm doing that is because I'm hiding from your parents. They don't know what we have. They don't know how much I'm trying to help you. They won't understand. So that way, when the parent becomes curious, like, hey, let me check this phone, what they see is a conversation between their child and another child their age. Their mind doesn't even comprehend the possibility that there's somebody so devious targeting their child. It's just not there for normal people. It takes you true crime weirdos to try to help kind of hold their hand. Like, hey, look, come see this. Come see what I see. Come take a look over here. Peek around this fucking corner. Right? You thought you were safe, but 10 steps over here to your left is danger. Miss Doglover is asking, Sleuth, are you interested in international cases? Yes. I'm always looking at stuff in Europe, the UK specifically, Australia too, for whatever reason. They have a lot of complex cases they're dealing with over there. The Madeleine McCann case, very well invested in that case. Short answer, yes. Yep, if there's a will, there's a way. And some of the predators that were willing to, because everything is hindsight with these psychos, right? We really don't know anything about them. Everything that we've learned is what they've provided to us, right? After the fact. You have FBI behavioral analysts who meet with these people. Ted Bundy was willing to provide some information, but not fully. So there's no predictive program or checklist for these guys. Everything we know about them is what's been revealed by them. We still can't figure out how to see them coming. A sadistic, sadist, serial, I don't even know what to call them. It's almost like I don't know. They always look at themselves as a mutant. If you hear the interviews with these psychopaths, these convicted killers that happen to be psychopaths, they always talk like they're non-human. It's really weird to observe them talk about themselves like that. And other sadistic killers relate to each other, like Rex Heuermann and the Happy Face killer, Jasperson. They became pen pals. Like, hey, they began reaching out to each other and helping each other. Their daughters now communicate and are helping each other. Like, what the fuck is that? But either way, classic case of grooming, right? And that's exactly what somebody like Kagan Klein did, potentially with Libby, or even what Rick Allen did with Libby. Oh, we don't have any connection between the two. He doesn't even have anything on his computer at home. He's not into CSAM. Rick Allen is a family man. The thing is, this guy was a fucking school teacher, apparently. Look what he's into. That's what groomers do. They're compartmentalized psychopaths. And honestly, most killers, this is who they are. They only do the killing part to cover this up because they don't care about the person to begin with. They see him as an object. So the killing is just like, it's like nothing. But sometimes that's not the whole point. The whole point is just to do the weird, um, sadistic, sado masochism, whatever, whatever you want to call it, sadistic, sexual, deviant shit. And then they're like, oh my God, what have I done? Richard Allen, I can't believe I did this. Now I have to kill you so that you don't, you know, go tell the police and turn my life upside down like I just did yours. I think YouTube censored me, lol, but let me rephrase. I've always wondered why it takes so long for death row inmates to be executed. Well, I mean, it should, right? There's been a few times they've killed people who were innocent. Thomas Jerome Bruce is a good example. When he was younger, he was in the Air Force, and somebody that was in his class. So two of his classmates were involved in a crime. One was the victim, and one was the accused. Well, the accused ended up being put to death, capital punishment, and later there was evidence that kind of exonerated him or cleared him, so to speak. And some years later, Thomas Jerome Bruce is arrested for, you know, killing, no, murdering one woman and sodomizing two other. And once he was busted, they started wondering, well, shit, he was in he was in the same classroom with these people. What if he's the one that killed them? So he looks like he's the actual prime suspect to a murder where somebody has already been put to death for capital punishment. That doesn't seem right. Like the guy didn't do anything. Imagine you're in the Air Force and you're taking a college class and then you're arrested because your classmate was murdered, but you were set up by a sadistic um, psycho. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. My wife's texting me. Sounds like she might need some paperwork printed. And I have the printer in here with me. So let me see what's going on here. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to put you on mute real quick. I'm going to print a document. It's only going to take a second. So just hang tight. Why do printers take forever? Can somebody explain to me why? So it's just printing out right now. I don't know why it's taking so long. Let's go to the comments here. It's interesting. When I flew into Malaysia, there was an announcement warning passengers that drug smuggling is punishable by death. So they know. Yikes. Yeah, I guess they're pretty strict about marijuana in Russia as well. Oh, now it's printing. That entire time it was like making noise and doing all this shit. Be right back. All right. GP, right now I had an ex-aunt that was murdered, raped, and beaten, but it's under investigation and it happened down in Indiana. Sorry to hear that, GP. If you want me to cover that, send me the details. But Sleuth, what are we going to do about Art the Clown Terrifier? Oh, the movie? Every time I try to watch it, my wife's like, nah. She's like, nah. Right. So are they just waiting for more evidence that may or may not come through? A conviction is serious. If there's any doubt, then death shouldn't be the punishment. Slippery slope, though. Catch 22. Yeah, we don't have a justice system. There hasn't been a justice system invented yet. That's why it kind of bothers me when people act like the conversation is over. I always thought that was the great part of the Constitution is that we can change it. We can change the rules. People Magazine investigates and does great true crime coverage. They have a few seasons. Yeah, they do. Here, let me pull this back up. So back to grooming and how sneaky it really is, because that's what it really is. With these guys right here, they're teaching their target victim how to hide from the people that should be protecting them. Like, now that I have your trust, little child or vulnerable victim, we need to protect what we have, right? This make believe friendship. Remember, Lucifer presents himself as an angel of light when he is anything but that, right? Pure wickedness, jealousy, lust, greed, envy, everything is all of it balled up into one, trying to feed it to you. That's what this guy is to his victim. He's the devil. Oh, I'll help babysit your kids. You deserve, a night out. Like, hell no. It's always the people that seem the nicest. I'm not saying that all nice people are bad. I'm just saying that these types of people right here present themselves as nice people when they are anything but that. That is from the Predator Handbook. So when you tell yourself as a parent, well, I don't see any signs that this is going on, that's because it's possible that this motherfucker right here taught them how to hide from you, what technology to use, how to even keep hidden folders on your phone, somewhere tucked away into the phone where mom and dad can't find it. And that's definitely something that Keegan Kline could have been doing with Libby. That's something that Richard Allen could have been doing with Libby. They both spent plenty of time at the Monon High Bridge Trail and Riley Park. 3 seasons of softball training she spent there. That's right around the time Rick moved there and began fishing at Riley Park. Julia with the super sticker. Oh, yeah, we got to hit the money train. Where's the money train? Got money bags over here. Nice. Supposedly, that's what my ex-aunt's case is about, complete jealousy between two guys. Yeah, that's the devil's favorite game. Loves to spoon feed that shit to us. Here, you want some more of that? How about a little bit of envy and some greed on the top? See if we can get us a little crime of passion going. Yeah, that's our new thing. So when anybody donates or sends in a super chat or whatever, we hit them with the money train. And then we call them money bags. Kapahuluhiua. He must be Hawaiian. We'll call him Corey K. Corey Kappa Hulahiua. 44 was sentenced to 187 years. Now you see why they sentenced him for 187 years, right? Because that's basically a death sentence. 187. That's the police call sign for homicide. Springfield 3 case. 2 girls and one of their moms went missing. Somewhat, yes. Let's see. 187 years in prison after a jury in Arizona convicted him on charges including sexual abuse, assault, and sexual conduct with a minor. The charges stem from relationships the teacher had with 2 minor students. Yeah, that's a pedophile. That's like if he married her when she turned 18, that's probably too old for him. So eventually he's just going to get rid of her and then go back down, you know. Let's see. Kappa Hua lived with the older victim after she turned 18 and organized a fundraiser to help her get money to move out of her parents' home when she was still 17, prosecutors said. You know what's interesting? Kagan Klein, when he came back, when he moved back from Las Vegas, I think it was like in 2019, I think. Maybe a little bit sooner. I'm not sure. I think 2019. Well, he moved back and he started dating Libby's friend, who was underage at the time that he was targeting Libby. Isn't that some freaky shit? Here, let me pull up a photograph. So it's almost the same thing. And it makes you wonder, like, if she knows more. It just makes you wonder. Oh, here it is. I was like, I know I have this photo. Okay, so this is something that Kagan Klein might see, right? Like, oh, yeah, I met her at a sleepover. I was actually talking to one of her friends. Well, the girl in the back there became a witness in his CSAM case. That's his girlfriend. He moved back from Las Vegas and began dating her. How fucking weird is that? And I think that law enforcement, I think back then they overlooked the potential with the Xbox and what predators can do with it. They could basically use it to access Discord, you know, get online, store information. He had an Xbox, and I wonder if it was overlooked. You know, did they pull the digital forensics off of that? I haven't seen any reporting on that. But isn't that crazy? Like, how sick is that? If Kagan Klein had anything to do with killing Abby and Libby, he comes back a few years later and starts dating their friend. Like, how gross. I'm telling you guys, we haven't even really scratched the surface with what's going on with that case. Not even close, in my opinion. What's up, Frank? The Springfield 3. Let's take a look. But the fact that Kagan Klein is moving back from Las Vegas and begins dating that girl, that gives me those grooming vibes. You know what I mean? She might know more. I think. I think it's possible. Let's see. The Springfield Three, missing since June 7th, 1992. Cheryl Levitt was 47, a hairdresser and homeowner. Suzanne Susie Streeter, 19, her daughter. Stacy McCall, 18, Susie's best friend. This was Missouri, Springfield, Missouri. June 7th, 1992. Missing persons case listed as open. Yeah, we need to get better at what we do as parents, too. We need to work on the preventative side of things because these people aren't going to stop. They won't stop. You can put them in jail for 30 years, they're out for a day, and then they commit a rape and murder. Yeah, thanks, Julia. Hey, what's up, Frank? Is what about the Springfield 3 cold case? That's what we're talking about at this very moment, yes. Missing since June 7th, 1992. Let's take a look at the timeline. All right, June 6th, 1992. It was a Saturday night. Stacy and Susie had just graduated from Kickapoo. Yes, Kickapoo High School. They attended multiple graduation parties that evening. The girls planned to sleep at a friend's house but found it too crowded. Hmm. I wonder if that's a clue there. Like, what made it too crowded? What made it seem crowded? Was somebody trying to get on them? Like, hey, bro, back up. I'm trying to sleep. Around 2 a.m., they decided to go to Susie's house, right? I wonder if there's something there. Were they followed? Around 2 a.m., they decided to go to Susie's house, 1717 East Delmar Street, to stay the night instead. Oh, fucking mosquito just got me right on the ankle. You son of a. Okay, June 7th, 1992, Sunday morning. When friends tried to reach the girls the next morning for a planned trip to Whitewater Amusement Park, they couldn't get in touch. Friends visited the Delmar Street home. All three cars, Cheryl's, Susie's, and Stacy's, were in the driveway. Purses, keys, and cigarettes were inside. No signs of forced entry or struggle. The front porch lights glass glowed. A friend stood up before police arrived, inadvertently destroying evidence. But you can see why, right? I don't want anybody getting cut. Then that would really contaminate the crime scene. What's better, swiping glass to the side or somebody cutting their foot and spilling blood everywhere? Let's see. So, no signs of forced entry or struggle. The porch light's glass globe was shattered. So, this is almost like a scene from Scream, right? The killer says, "Oh, I'll turn the power out." They'll come out to turn the power on, and that's when I'll launch my attack, right? Bust out the front light, maybe knock on the door. They can't see, so they have to come out here like, thinking it's just a harmless. Nobody's expecting the whole true crime event. Nobody sees it coming. I don't know about you, but for me, that's the scariest part about it all. Yeah, but I do vaguely remember we did discuss this case. Okay, let's continue on here. The front porch light's glass globe was shattered. A friend swept it up before police arrived, inadvertently destroying evidence. Yeah, that's not suspicious to me. Around this time, two disturbing phone calls with obscene messages came into the house line. Okay, so they had the number. Maybe they were able to look it up, look at the address, look it up in the phone book. But it sounds like they knew their killer or their abductor. By the time police were officially called, up to 18 people had entered and exited the home, contaminating the scene. She Warrior, what's up? Creepy phone calls is what got me. What does that tell us? That's definitely the people who abducted them, right? Most likely killed them. So did they know their phone number? Did they know them personally? Were they connected to the unsuccessful sleepover? Remember, it was crowded. Who was crowding them? That would be my first question. Like, who was bothering the girls at the sleepover? This almost sounds like a disorganized a group of two, right? Two people, two males, young, very similar to those two knuckleheads that actually tried to become the real life Scream killers. You remember them? So these are the vibes that I'm getting here. Case. Let me pull this up.
We're here in his car. The time is 9:50.
I'm getting these vibes right
September
here.
22nd, 2006. Unfortunately, we have the grueling task of killing our two friends. And they are right in a house just down the street.
We just talked to them. We were there for an hour.
So I'm getting these types of vibes. Brian Draper and Tori Adamanchik. Maybe they were trying to play a prank and it went too far. Right? They want to leave us. They want to refuse us. And them just being so drunk, maybe high, followed them home like, hey, we're not giving up that easy. Somehow got them out of the house and into the car. And then at that point, it was too late, right? It's like, well, we're already going to jail. We've already committed a crime. But it's like these two knuckleheads, right? Two really wicked people somehow coming together in the world to come up with a really horrible idea, a really horrible plan.
We checked out the whole house. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I unlocked the back doors. It's all locked. Now we just gotta wait. And yeah,
So these guys kind of did the same thing. Remember, they shut the power off, trying to lure Cassie out. I think there was another gentleman there at that point, trying to lure him out. But instead, his mother made him go home. Like, hey, I'm not falling for that. You just want to stay the night and have sex with this girl and give me a grandbaby. He's like, no, honestly, like something bad's happened. She's like, no, I'm not falling for that shit. So what should have happened is maybe Cassie should have went with them. Perhaps. I mean, who knows? The only true answer is that Brian and Tori should have never, ever, ever I don't, these guys were so hidden. They're young kids. How do you prevent this right here? How do you anticipate the Scream movie becoming real on your own kid? I think that's gonna do it, guys. I gotta run and take care of something, but I will be live again. Probably probably in about 2 hours, maybe. That's usually when I can put my son down for a nap. And if he feels like going down for a nap, I'll come hang out with you guys. And tell you a little bit about more what we have planned for the Emily Pike case. But thanks for hanging out, catching the live stream. If you need to get a hold of me, shoot me an email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Replay crew, you know exactly what to do. Drop a comment, we'll get back to you. And if you can, hit that Cash App right there on top of the screen. And if not, hit the like button. It's right there. Peace.